Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about this not quite elusive realm new game mode that they decided to put in here and the problems and the good things about it. So, first things first, we'll start off with the good things, because there are things that I like in this mode. Like, I like how it's only once a week, you go in, you go out, you're done, and then you get your asteroids, you get your rewards. Are the rewards great? No, but you do get something for doing it. And I honestly think the combat is enjoyable. However, the enemies that you're fighting in this gameplay are very weak. Like, they feel like you're way too overpowered to be fighting this stuff. Then again, maybe it's because I have level 90 characters, but that just proves the point that if you have characters that are actually properly leveled and taken care of, this mode is a breeze to go through. Another thing that I like about this mode is the fact that from last week to this week, they changed up the bosses that you're fighting. Last week it was the Fallacia Legacy. Foul Legacy. I don't know. Big guy with the hammer that I died like 1,000 times to in the what was that combat called? I don't know. Combat where they buff up the bosses so much to where you get one hit killed. Anyway, they replaced that boss with the new boss that came out. What's her name? Hekarit? Hekaidi? God, names. I love how I don't know names of things. I'll just show images or something. But I like how they did that. As well as they changed up the characters that are buffed this week. Last week it was Spectro characters that had a buff. This week it was Glacio, which I'm very glad they did that. I had literally just two characters, Spectro Rover and then Phoebe. Oh yeah, and Shorekeeper, but she's more universal. But yeah, glad they changed that. Now, the things that I wish they would fix, change, for example, I wish that the rewards for when you get to the middle section and the end, I wish they would increase those and or make it so you're not spending wave plates on it. Currently, you spend 60 or 120 wave plates on this reward system, and you get nothing, basically. You get something, but it's not enough for you to come in here and do this over Tacit Fields. Are there pros to getting the rewards here? Yes, because instead of you having the actual echoes in your inventory, they give you a box and you get to choose what type of echoes you want. Which sure is great for people who are overcapping on echoes or always have to worry about overcapping on echoes. It works great for them, but me personally, I haven't ever reached that point where I'm overcapping on echoes. And it would be great if they could just increase the rewards and or give it for free. Honestly, they should probably do a combination of both, where they, first time going through, you were able to get it for free or half off, and they give you more rewards. Honestly, I think that's how they would fix that part. Next thing I don't like. The fact that, I mentioned it earlier, the bosses and enemies feel very weak. The boss this week being that one lady that does a bunch of damage and attacks from everywhere. She only felt hard because, dodging her attacks and having to play around her mechanics is, a little more thought-provoking than other bosses. But if it weren't for that fact, she would be dead pretty easily. But any of the enemies in this game mode just kind of instantly die. Like, I was able to pretty much go through this game mode and just use, like, Carlotta's basic attacks and skill, and then, like, her ultimate if I felt like it. Or, like, switch to Sandwa, do her, like, ultimate, and then they're pretty much dead. So, definitely need to, like, buff the characters. Another thing that I wish they would add and or change is I wish they would kind of make it more like the old Elusive Realm, where your characters and their functions actually change. Like, back in the old Elusive Realm, if somehow you weren't there and you just started in, like, 2.0, they had the Elusive Realm, but it was, you go in with one character, and you would get, like, an Echo, and you'd have to get buffs and stuff that, like, matched your Echo's attributes and stuff, and, you know, your Echo would become more powerful, and you're able to upgrade your character, so then they do something different. I really enjoyed that, especially since for certain Echoes, I forget the name, I think it's Crownless? Yeah, I think it was Crownless. You were able to actually be able to, like, just use the Echo to fight, or use the Echo for the majority of the fight, and I found that really cool. That was something I would consider special to Wuthering Waves. Like, I don't know any other game that does something similar to that. Like, yeah, is there, like, similar sort of mechanics to, like, let's say you compare it to, like, Honkai Star Rail with their, what is it? Oh, what's it called? I just can't remember names today. I'll just show an image here. But compared to, like, comparing that to the Elusive Realm, like, yes, there's similarities where it's like, oh, you go through these stages and then you get buffs. But, like, if you simplify pretty much any game mode like that, then pretty much everything looks like a copy and paste of that. But I like the way that Wuthering Waves done it. I don't know if it's just because I enjoy Wuthering Waves more as a game, or if it's because I'm starting to get sick of Honkai Star Rail, but whatever it is, I just prefer the way Wuthering Waves done it. Especially since they actually changed the way your character works, and it feels different, it feels new, it feels fresh. It was like a breath of fresh air playing it. Like, I could be soaked into that game mode and play it all the time if I had the time to. Unfortunately, I do not. Which is why one of the pros I had for this one is that you only have to go in and do it once a week. Which is one of the things I disliked about the Elusive Realm. Because I felt like I didn't really have time to finish everything in that mode. Which, as much as I loved it, I didn't really have time to complete it. So I'd usually miss out on, like, a couple of astrites here, a couple of astrites there, some level up materials and stuff like that. Which is why I'm not too mad at this mode for being, like, once a week. However, it doesn't really have replayability. Like, once you finish it, you have no reason to come back in here and play it again. Which, you know, sucks for people who, I don't know, for some reason enjoy this mode. But anyway, next thing that I don't really enjoy, the buffs. I kind of mentioned it earlier, how, like, the buffs don't really do anything. Like, the most they do is just increase your character's damage. And I, once again, wish they would do more like the Elusive Realm, where it does something different. Where it's, like, there was a special, metaphor that, like, created fireballs as you're fighting. And I like that, because it was something, like, different. So, as you're, like, attacking with your character, you'd have, like, fireballs raining from the sky. And that was because of a buff you picked out. I don't know. I think it's just because I miss the old Elusive Realm in general. But, once again, I just wish the buffs did more. Because it feels right now like they just, like, buff your character's damage, and then that's kind of it. They don't do anything special. Other than that, this game mode isn't bad. It just needs improvements and or to just be like replaced with elusive realm, and then elusive realm needs to just have these improvements. Overall, not a bad game mode. Is it the best? Absolutely not. Is it the absolute worst? Definitely not. But it does need a lot of improvements and or like redesigns to make it feel more like an actual enjoyable game mode. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Am I being unreasonable about what I want changed, or maybe am I being too soft on Withering Waves and I need to be more aggressive and say that this game mode is terrible and should just be deleted? You let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.